Hey guys, my name's Sean,
Hey, I'm Brandon.
and we're doing a talk through the 5 love languages. This is the Real Essentials curriculum in partnership with Live the Life. We just want to let you know that there's actually 2 books that you can get on this topic, written by Gary Chapman. He's a New York Times bestseller. You've got the 5 love languages and the 5 love languages for teenagers. And so if you want some further study, you got it right there. And so none of these ideas are original with us. And Brandon and I, we've been friends for now like
6 years, yeah.
Okay. We're not counting, but
Right.
we're buddies, and so we've been able to practice how to love one another well in these 5 different ways. And so let's see what is the thing for you. Like I know number one for you has always been the first one we'll talk about. It's words of affirmation.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Right. Now, before we go into it, and you tell us why it's your number one. If you've never done it, you're going to want to go ahead and in the show notes, there's a test to see what your love language is. So you may be like Brandon and words of affirmation is your thing, but you won't know until you take the test. So go ahead and do that. Now, Brandon, tell us about words of affirmation. What does it do for you?
I mean, for me, I just appreciate someone taking the extra time out to say, hey, Brandon, nice shoes, or hey, you look nice today. Like that to me, it just does something.
Okay. So if somebody were to write something like that, like nice shoes, that would fill you up.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. So let's go ahead and fill up your love tank. All right. Santa Claus, got a big belly there. All right. So this is what does it for Brandon. Now, I know for me, I do like compliments on my outfit or haircut or whatever, but I've noticed that I've lately liked compliments on my like inside type stuff, like character.
Oh, okay.
When somebody, in fact, I want to do this for you. We've been doing social distancing, which I'm not sure we're doing real well right now, but we're in quarantine, and I've just really appreciated you and I've been able to get on the phone a lot. We've been able to have some Zoom meetings with our spouses and some of our other friends in our couples group, and I really appreciate that. So I just want to tell you, I think you're a really good friend.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You've helped talk me down off the ledge many times, and so I appreciate that. When the quarantine just gets too crazy, it's just nice to hear a friend. So appreciate
it.
Yeah. So that's kind of an inside compliment, right?
Yeah.
And those are the ones
sure.
I find I like. The other thing about that is it's I found like now that I have kids of my own, I have a 3-year-old, 2-year-old, and 1-year-old. And Brandon's 4.
Yeah, and then the 2-year-old.
Titan is 2.
Right.
So do you notice this, that when people come to compliment your kids, they're always talking about, oh, cool, light up shoes, or hey, your haircut looks so cute, or you're getting so tall. Right? Is that what you mostly hear?
Yeah, no, mainly.
Yeah. And what I realize is like, okay, now I realize why I'm so superficial, or so many of us are, because we grew up just hearing compliments on our outside. I've never had anyone say, hey, you're so courageous for a little person. I mean, my daughter's 3, that is the oldest, so I don't know how much courage a 3-year-old has, but you're so helpful. Those are the things that she doesn't hear from other adults. So I feel like working on talking to somebody at that internal level and giving them words of affirmation at that inside level, I think that there's something to that.
Yeah, it definitely fills you up.
Yeah, it does. I think in like a deeper way. So now, if you're not practiced at this at all, then just complimenting someone on their shoes is a great start. But if you want to go to that next level, I would say level 2 words of affirmation is some more of that. Hey, like your character, your courage, your personality. Those things I think really,
for sure.
I think they go a next level. So what about the other one? We got quality time. Now, that one's my number one.
Okay.
I'll tell you why I like quality time. I feel like when somebody's sitting down with me and like looking me in the eye and we're hanging out, like it's just more meaningful.
Sure. So like if we're going to the gym together or have a conversation, like
gym,
just doing things,
Yeah. So
sure.
So you would say for you, like when we hang out, the gym. Now I know this isn't your biggest one, but I know you and I will work out sometimes. I mean, obviously you're a bigger, stronger dude than me, so I look up to you in that way. So the gym is big for you.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, here, go ahead and add that to your love tank. All right. So you're gonna really have to work that off,
Yeah, for sure.
But what about like other things? What makes quality time quality for you?
I mean, I guess I would say, for quality time, a lot of times, you are with people, but it's not necessarily the quantity, it is the quality. So if I'm with you, it's better that you're not on your phone and you're giving me eye contact and we're having intentional conversation, maybe about our day or just about maybe things we want to plan to do together. Like that to me is like, that's quality.
Okay.
Compared to if we're together, but we're doing separate things in the same room, I don't know if that's quality time.
Yeah, I actually feel that. So I put one-on-one. So one-on-one time, like just
for sure.
Yeah, that's a big deal. All right,
Yeah,
here we go.
deal.
All right, so let's go ahead and see what our next one is. Gifts. Is that one that's big for you?
Yeah, no, gifts are really big for me. I really appreciate when someone knows the kind of gifts that I'm into. And let's say, for example, they know I like ice cream, so they go and get me a gift card. I'm not a big gift card guy, but if they give me a gift card for ice cream, that tells me that they thought about me. They'll be like, oh man, Brent, this is gonna put a smile on Brandon's face. So for me, like a gift card to an ice cream place because I like ice cream, like that's big.
So the thoughtfulness is in not the gift card; it's in the fact that they know you like ice cream.
Right.
Okay.
And they got me a gift for the thing I want.
Okay, I hear you. Now I know you like gummies too, right? Would gummies be a good gift? Okay, so we get some gummies, and I know that about you. So and it's cheap. Like I mean, there's no excuse to that. I can't buy you some gummies, right? Except for that, you're doing 21 days without gummies, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I want to honor your fast there.
Gotta work this off first.
I got you. Yeah. All right. So let's show where the gummies usually go on my sides. Right. So definitely, I grow.
Left handles.
Yeah, definitely. So all right. So what about acts of service?
Yeah. So I would say that's a really big one for my wife. She likes it when I do the dishes, or if I get up in the morning and I make the bed. That to her shows that I'm thinking of her, and it saves her from having to do extra things. So if I, give a helping hand and do those things for her, then oh man, she's filled up.
Okay. Yeah. What can someone do practically, like for you? Like how could I do an act of service as a friend? It's one thing to do for your wife, right? But it's another thing to do for a friend.
I would say moving. I hate moving.
Okay.
I'm ever moving.
So
if someone wants to help me. Without me even having to ask, like, man, Brandon's moving, like, next weekend, how can I help you? Like, that to me is big.
Yeah. Okay. And then you can think about that, like, if you're trying to do something for, like, a teacher, let's say. How would you practically do an act of service for a teacher?
Maybe helping, sort through school items, like class items, or putting away books, or
that's good.
Yeah, something like that.
That's good. Like cleaning the desks, the things that need to be done.
No, definitely.
I saw a video the other day of these students that got their teacher a pair of shoes. And they've been making fun of his holes in his shoes for however long, and we was just in tears. I think that's more of a gift, but it is serving him in a practical way. Yeah. So maybe it's both. I don't know, but I'll help you on a move. Yeah. All right. So here you go. You could use the whole moving workout. I don't think you need my help. I think you need to work off all that weight. How about this? We've got touch. Now that's, I think, the first place to go. Is it always sexual?
No, definitely. I think when you think of someone's like language being like touch, like physical touch, it can be like for my wife. She loves when we hold hands together, and I think it's important for her because it just helps her to understand, man, I'm here for you, I'm with you, I love you, I care for you. So yeah, or it can even be like a pat on the back. Like my sons love it when I pat their head, and I'm just hanging out with them, not for any reason at all. And that to them shows, oh, daddy just cares, he loves me. So yeah, and even for a friend, same thing. Just a hug or a pat on the back for them. Like that's a big deal.
All right, so a pat on the head does it for you?
Yeah, pat on the head, man. Yeah.
I'm a physical touch type too. I think it's cultural too. Like as a Brazilian, like you almost talk like holding on to the other person.
Right, for sure.
So I know that certain people in certain cultures, the touch can be different, right?
Yeah.
And so you definitely want to be conscious of what like somebody's social boundaries are when you try to make some of those moves. I know one time I was talking to somebody and I grabbed their elbow. I was talking to them, and then I got an email, like a 3-page email from them later. I felt that was too close. It made me feel uncomfortable. I was like, all right, I'm not touching elbows ever again. Although I touched yours. Sorry about that. All right, so this is kind of what fills you up, right? We know this about you now. And like, what would it take for someone to deflate you? I guess that's a question I have.
Wow. I guess something like not spending quality time with me. So if we are together, maybe, and they're on their phone, or I don't know, they're reading a book, in a weird time we're supposed to be spending time together, like that to me would probably deflate me.
So
like that.
Like that. All right, so that's a big deal for you, right?
No, it is a big deal.
And then what about like since your big thing is words of affirmation?
For sure.
What cuts you down on that level?
Man, complete opposite. Someone who's saying, hey, I'm not a good person, or I'm not as good as something that I thought I was probably good at. So they probably say, I suck at something, or maybe even somebody even talking behind my back. Like maybe it's not even like a direct thing. It's like they say behind my back, and it comes to me, and I find out it's like, wow, like that makes me feel bad. Yeah.
Okay.
That
So
makes
that deflate you.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's your big one, right? So
Right,
that's
for
like
sure.
that's what fills you up the
Yeah,
most.
no,
So
definitely.
you're starting to kind of look a little sad right now.
Yeah.
So I didn't even get to do your little dance, bro. You got a little dance for us, a little like tag dance.
Because I feel deflated.
It's because you feel deflated.
Yeah,
You're not even
exactly.
gonna dance for us today. All right. What about physical touch? Like what kind of physical touches? Well, actually, about that the words. I noticed gossip kind of has that effect on me.
Yes. Okay.
Right?
Wow.
Like, because, it's not exactly someone saying something to me, but it comes around to me eventually, and
Yeah,
it's negative.
definitely.
And so that'll, if I catch wind of that kind of stuff, man, it messes with my day.
No, it does. Yeah, for sure.
Big time.
I can see that.
All right. So touch. Other than poking you with a pen, what kind of touch would deflate you?
I mean, even like someone pushing or, man, I don't know. Like,
abusive touch.
Yeah, abusive touch for sure. Yeah.
Or no touch, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're a physically affectionate
sure.
type,
No, definitely.
right? Like I know.
Right. That isn't. I mean, I know for a lot of people, like for me specifically, if someone's not like putting a hand on my back, or like if my wife's not holding my hand, that makes me feel like, man, that she care. That they care. Yeah.
Ouch. So it makes sense. And then an act of service, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would like a deflating experience be with acts of service? I think one thing would be if you said you were going to do something and then you didn't do it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I know with my wife, like one thing I said early on in marriage was, hey, I'm always going to make the bed and always do the dishes and always take out the trash.
Right.
And of course you say that, right in the beginning, but I haven't always done it. And so obviously I aim to, and that's like I hope to, but I failed so many times. And I know in the beginning when she was holding me to that word, it was like she would feel kind of deflated because the promise was there, the expectation was high, and the results were low. Yeah, I would fall short. So I've made less of those promises and just said I'm going to do my very best. And she knows my best isn't perfect now. But I've noticed is that if I just do one thing, it'll kick off the other ones. Because I'm not always in the mood to do the dishes or take out the trash. But I can make the bed. Like I'm pretty incapable of a lot of things, but that I can do. And so even if I make the bed in like a not great way, like I throw the sheet over and there's pillows underneath, so it kind of looks like a mountain range. She'll still thank me, and I don't know if everyone does this, but she will still say, "Hey, thank you for making the bed."
Right.
And I know I didn't even do a perfect job, so that grace, that generosity on her part, like gets me thinking, I'm gonna do the dishes. So then I do the dishes real quick. And I'm like peeking over the counter to see if she noticed. Like, hey, did you go into the kitchen? And then she sees the dishes. Oh, babe, thanks for doing the dishes. And we're like, it feels good like being scratched like a dog, right? And then it's like, oh, okay. And now I'm doing the trash, and then I'm trying to change the kids' diapers or do whatever else needs to get done in the house. So
I find something like that, you doing that and going above and beyond, and her giving you that affirmation. That makes you both, like you're both like in this, how can I outgive you kind of contest. That's a great contest to be in. When you're trying to outgive the next person, a friend, a family member, and then it's just generosity all around.
Yeah, and that's actually how the love tank thing works. We don't necessarily give to get, but the goal is to give abundantly, to give as much as I can manage to give, and then it's natural for the other person to then give back. It's like that. It's that mutual submission where I'm giving you everything I can possibly give, you're giving me everything you can possibly give, and so we both walk out full. But if every time I offer you a balloon, I'm like, yo, where's my balloon? It creates kind of like doesn't that create kind of like a tyrant servant relationship? Like I'm in a better position and you owe me and I owe you. It's no good.
That's a bad place to be.
It's a bad place to be as friends, as a spouse, with your parents. There's no good place for that. So what could somebody do to deflate you on that gift level? Because I see you still have a little bit of love in you.
I would say no gift at all. Honestly, knowing that I like gifts. Maybe my birthday comes around.
That's a slow deflation.
Wow, yeah.
You hear that?
That's what happens. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about it, and then nothing comes.
Right.
Sure.
Okay, I got that.
And then maybe even give me the wrong gift. Like not taking the time to really get to know who I am, and then give me a gift that I can do nothing with. Oh, Brent, I got you, a gift card to go take tennis lessons.
Somewhere you don't even go.
Oh, wow. Thanks. Tennis lessons. I really like basketball, but okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you on that. Good. All right, so now we've gone over all the ways that you can fill someone's love tank, ways you can deflate them, and it's important to know that when it comes to deflating, like, you can't do that too long before you lose a friend.
Sure.
Nobody wants to stay with somebody that deflates them all the time, makes them feel like a loser. And so it's important to give more than you get sometimes, right?
For sure.
Giving is better than receiving, the old proverbs say.
Right.
So I think that's it, man. We appreciate your help with this.
Man.
This has been very fruitful. I appreciate that. That was bad social distancing. I'm gonna go get some hand sanitizer, and we'll talk next time on the next topic in the Real Essentials curriculum. Thanks, guys. See ya. Yeah, that was good.
That's good, bro.
I thought that was fire.
Yeah. What's this? Move.
Oh, there's one. I didn't see it.
What was it? Service? I think we hit
them all.
Space on. Yeah, that's good. That's good, bro.
Can people see it?
Not really.
Yeah. Look at this. Is the sad one that I deflated.
That was good, dude. It's perfect. Like being able to like play on slow deflation.
We
That's the way it's supposed to be.
So strong.